Welcome to the National Policy Conference on Early Childhood Care, Education and Development, ECCED.
The National Policy Conference on Early Childhood Care, Education and Development offers an opportunity of its kind to stakeholders from across the early childhood care, education and development ecosystem in Kenya to come together to deliberate on policy issues that need to be addressed to accelerate quality, affordable early childhood care and development in this country. It brings together about 300 participants from counties, from the national level government, from the private sector, from funders and civil society organizations over a two-day period to discuss multiple issues that affect the early childhood care, education and development.
During this 2 days conference, the following sub-themes will be discussed: nurturing care framework,
we are in Kajiado County. We are currently working in 3 sub-counties. One, Ngong sub-county, which is Kajiado North sub-county, Kajiado South and Kajiado West. We are running programs in 4 areas. 1, early childhood. 2, education. 3, health, and 4, economic strengthening, mainly focusing on women. I'm very happy to be part of this conference, a very important conference, the National Policy Conference on Early Childhood.
Partnerships and coordination,
This conference is it's a national conference on policy regarding ECCED, and I think it is very timely because being one of the officers who are charged with the responsibility of early childhood education in Nairobi County, I would say that policy is a very key function, because without policy or without legal reforms or without law, we are not able to anchor anything, or to anchor our functions, our mandate, our responsibilities on a vacuum. We have good laws, yes, but we admit that we have some limitations. So we would say that the conference is coming in handy because it will ensure that the environment is anchored, the environment of early childhood care and education is anchored on law. We've had engagements with stakeholders regarding policy framework, and I would say that this conference is speaking directly to us because through a collaborative action that we have with our stakeholders, we are coming up with regulations for childcare facilities in Nairobi. We have an act, it is called Nairobi City County Childcare Facilities Act of 2017. However, we are not able to implement the act because we lack regulations to operationalize it. So we are in the process of developing the regulations, and we are at an advanced stage right now. And I would say this upcoming conference is actually very timely because these are the things that the dialogues that we want to talk about.
inclusion,
I wish to thank UDHBT for steering this process and bringing and having the intentions of bringing all of us together on the table to start thinking about policy. I'm very happy, particularly because we work in the semi-arid region, and there are many challenges that are facing children that affect the quality of care that children are receiving, that affects the development of the children. And I would be happy to see policies that are really speaking towards improving the quality of children that are in marginalized regions. Of course, there are existing policies and laws, like we have the Constitution of Kenya 2010, and specific articles that refer to how children should be treated in terms of ensuring that they are developing. The Constitution recognizes the right of the child to be protected, to be fed well, to be protected from cultural practices, violence, abuse, and all that will curtail the development of the child. But the question is, when we come down to the county level, how well are these policies being enacted?
Workforce development.
The work that we've been doing on childcare service provision so far has revealed 3 important gaps. One of these gaps is in the quality of childcare service provision. You find that particularly for women in informal settlement settings who need to go out to work to look for a daily living, they need to leave their children in these facilities, and many of these facilities are of poor quality. And when you're thinking about quality, you're looking at the space within the facility, you're looking at the lighting within the facility, you're looking at the general infrastructure. You're asking yourself, are these children staying in an environment that will promote their optimal development? That is one issue we have highlighted, and this is one of the issues that we need to consider as we think about moving the childcare sector forward. Another issue that we've uncovered through our research is the responsibility gap for the childcare services sector. When you look at the children who use these facilities, many of them are between 6 months and 5 years. When you ask the Ministry of Health whether they are the ones responsible for this sector, many of them will tell you we are responsible for the health of these children. When you ask the Ministry of Health whether they are responsible for this sector, they will tell you they are looking after the educational needs of these children. So this means that the childcare needs do not have a specific ministry that looks after the different issues that come up. And that is a very big issue that needs to be considered in the discussions that will go on during these conferences, because one of the things that will move forward this sector is if we have a responsible ministry taking care of the needs that arise in this sector.
Why the national conference is the government of Kenya is at its second phase of it's at its second phase of devolution, where ECCED has been devolved. There has been a lean focus for preschool, but with our operation, there's that lean focus for children who are 3 years and below. So the policy is coming in at an optimum time where there's need for an integration. Significance to our as a supplier in offering early childhood care and education for the childcare micro business individuals is that we want to cite an example is issues of licensing. Because of the disintegrated government units, that gives us a challenge in who to approach to just on that front. But over and beyond that, there is need for a concerted, integrated approach from all the stakeholders, be it the government, be it the government or the private stakeholders.
Financing, investing, and budgeting.
We have noted there is a gap in terms of funds allocation towards the software that happens at county levels. We know that a lot of funding has been allocated at county level towards infrastructure development, but we feel that there is more to be done for teacher training and capacity strengthening. There is also more to be done in terms of provision of teaching and learning materials, quality control, and monitoring and evaluation of what happens during early learning. And for us, I think being able to advocate for a portion of the money that is going to the counties to be allocated towards the software, that is teacher training, monitoring, evaluation, quality control, and provision of materials will be a very good and strengthen what happens in the infrastructure that has been built by the counties.
The third issue that we have highlighted through our research is the poor or limited budgetary allocation to this sector. Many of the facilities that we have visited, particularly in informal settlement settings, are run out of people's homes. You find somebody converting 1 or 2 rooms within their homes to be a childcare facility. These providers need support, and the support that they need can come in form of a capitation grant that would enable them to enhance the facilities that they're providing the services from. And also, the budgetary allocation can go towards improving their own professional capabilities, because you find many of these childcare providers are not professionally trained and are not really in a good place to provide optimal childcare services.
The National Policy Conference on Early Childhood Care, Education and Development will be graced by the following speakers. Mr. Asaya Imaya. Mr. Asaya Imaya is the CEO of Uthabiti Africa, an African childcare focused organization with the vision to accelerate the growth of the childcare market in Africa. He is also the chair of the Policy Regulations and Reforms Technical Working Group, which is under the Collaborative Action for Childcare Initiative. Her Excellency Anne Kananu, Governor, Nairobi City County. She was named Acting Chief Officer for Water in November 2019 after working as Chief Officer in charge of Disaster Management and Coordination at City Hall. Before then, Governor Kananu worked as a security supervisor in charge of quality control and training at Kenya Airports Authority. As governor, the county has since hired 520 teachers who have been posted to various centers around the city during the launch of the Free Early Childhood Development Education, ECDE. His Excellency Wycliffe Wangamati, Governor, Bungoma County. His Excellency is the current Governor of Bungoma County. After his university education, he proceeded to work in a couple of companies with good reputation, and this helped build his rapport and great work ethic. After working at Alexander Forbes and the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries, he went into politics. He was among the first Kenyan actuaries. Ms. Mary Mwiti, CEO Council of Governors. As the CEO Council of Governors, she works as a Director Legal, Director Committees, and Director Corporate Affairs at the Council of Governors. Her Excellency Maria Mbeneka is the Chair, First Ladies Association. She is an advocate by profession and has worked with the Cooperative Tribunal under the Ministry of Agriculture. Her Excellency Rosella Njaya Rasanga. Rosella has used her platform as the First Lady of Siaya County to spearhead initiatives that touch the underserved in the community. She is a champion of Wadagi Initiative, a program that promotes maternal and newborn health by encouraging women to give birth in hospitals. Rosella also leads AMPAD, a mentorship program for adolescent girls from disadvantaged backgrounds. Evans Vundi Munuve Dixon. Mr. Evans Vundi Munuve is the program's manager, Nurturing Care and Child's Rights and Special Needs in the Ministry of Health under the Department of Family Health, Division of Neonatal and Child Health. He has over 30 years of experience as an adept speech and language therapist, occupational therapist with a history of proven results in improving patients' outcomes. Amanda Devacelli. Ms. Amanda Devacelli is the Global Lead for Early Childhood Development, World Bank. Amanda leads operational and analytical work in Kenya, Senegal, and South Africa, and has published a range of topics including childcare, measuring early childhood outcomes, and systems approaches. Dr. Amina Abubakar is the Director, Institute for Human Development, Aga Khan University. Amina Abubakar is a full professor and director for the Institute for Human Development, Aga Khan University. She is also a senior research scientist at the Kenya Medical Research Institute / Wellcome Trust Research Program and a visiting academic at the University of Oxford, Department of Psychiatry. She has co-authored more than 150 peer-reviewed journal articles and book chapters. Dr. Teresa Mwoma, Dr. Mwoma is a senior lecturer in the Department of Early Childhood and Special Needs Education, Kenyatta University. She is seconded to the African Council for Distance Education as the Executive Director coordinating open, distance, and e-learning in Africa for ECCED member institutions. Teresa is also the founder and acting Executive Director, ECCED Network for Kenya, coordinating ECCED initiatives in Kenya. Eva Naputuni Nyoike. Miss Eva Nyoike runs a program for persons with neurodiversity called ACON Special Tutorials, where she offers early intervention and has recently introduced reverse inclusion, where typical learners are learning together with peers with neurodiversity. She was actively involved in the formulation of the competency-based curriculum as a consultant in the development of the designs and teaching resources for learners with special learning needs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of its kind National Policy Conference on Early Childhood Care, Education and Development. Karibuni.